Many of you may not know this, but I have an Instagram page too. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it only takes a second and it really helps me out. I am a full-time cosmetology educator. I teach for the Salon by InStyle inside JCPenney. I do continuing and advanced education for their stylists. That's my Monday through Friday. On Fridays, I work in a Salon by InStyle inside JCPenney here in Austin, Texas. And every Friday, right before I start taking guests, I do a product knowledge live. It's something that I've just started doing recently. It's been pretty fun and I've had a pretty good response. So if that's something you're interested in this video, I've compiled every product knowledge live from the month of October. I try to talk about a particular product, maybe one or two ingredients that I like that are in it, or maybe one or two ingredients and how they work within the product, and then how to use the product. As stylists, I think it's our responsibility, very similar to the way that doctors prescribe. We're certainly not doctors. Have you ever had a doctor give you a prescription and he just kind of tosses the bottle at you and says, good luck? Well, like, how many times a day do I take this? Do I have to take them all? Do I take it with food? There's always very, very clear instructions. And certainly the stakes are much higher. But as cosmetologists, I like that standard. So that's what I do in my brief lives every Friday. So here are October's, mostly uncut, just the way that they're filmed. And if you are watching this Friday morning, you might be able to hop over to my Instagram and catch today's live. Enjoy. Okay, so I said I would start doing this live every Friday. About this time, I'm going to talk about a product, kind of what's in it, what makes it work, why I like it, and how to use it. So that eventually we can have like a library of a bunch of product knowledge. So my product today is the Ouidad Advanced Climate Control Gel. This is one of my favorite gels that I've ever used. And I feel like gels kind of have a bad rap. Like, for the longest time, people thought gel meant that you're going to have crunchy hair, that it's going to be like overly shiny, that it's going to be stiff. And I love their system and their education and their training because it really helps us avoid all of those results. So the first thing that we got to know about gels, especially when we're defining curls, is to put them in totally wet, saturated hair. So if you put this in totally wet, saturated hair, work it all the way through, and then you go through to diffuse properly, or just let it air dry, you're not going to get crunchy, crispy results, or flaky for that matter. My favorite thing about this product and the ingredients in it is hydrolyzed wheat protein. We hear a lot about protein and it being like we think of it as going inside and repairing the hair, but I actually brought visual aids today. This would be like a model of our hair with the cuticle around it. And what happens is our cuticle gets raised, we get missing gaps in our cuticle, and what wheat protein is more than anything is a film former. So what that's going to do is just help create a layer around our hair and fill in all of these gaps. If we don't have these gaps here, our hair is going to retain moisture. It's going to tangle far, far less, and it's going to reflect light and be a lot shinier. So wheat protein is a film former to help prevent tangles, and gel to help enhance and really hold curls. Today's product is clarifying shampoo. The product I pulled off the shelf is Paul Mitchell's Shampoo 3. And clarifying shampoo is actually, I think, one of the most underused and maybe most misunderstood products is clarifying shampoo, how, why, and when to use them. I love clarifying shampoos because even if you are a no-poo user, or you do co-washing, or you don't even shampoo that often, it's super important to use clarifying shampoos. I used a model last week, and I guess this is starting to become a trend. So this would be like a model of our hair strand. And you can see that curlier hair is, the more lifted and raised the cuticle layers are going to be. But over time, you get buildup of oils, you get buildup of silicones, and you get buildup of minerals literally wedged underneath the cuticle. And that's kind of like what I did here. So even if you have clean, dry hair, you end up getting this buildup stuck under your cuticles, and then your hair will get even drier. So, hey, how's it going? When we're using clarifying shampoo, that's going to allow us to get that mineral buildup out. And the best way to use them is to shampoo like you normally would. I don't know what's going on with my lighting right now. Shampoo like you normally would. Lather it up, rinse it out, then come back with your clarifying shampoo and let it sit on there like a treatment, like a conditioner. And as it sits on there, it's going to get all those minerals and everything that's literally wedged under the cuticle out. Oh, this isn't working out like I thought it would. There we go. And then that cuticle is able to lay down flat, and that's where a lot of tangles and dryness comes from. So let that clarifying shampoo sit on there and do its thing. And then that cuticle will be able to close. What's in clarifying shampoo that makes it work? You really want to look for two things, because there's a lot of clarifying shampoos out there. You want to look for sulfates. In this case, sulfates are good. They're going to remove dirt and oils from the hair, but you also want to look for EDTA. There's several different kinds. It kind of doesn't matter. You just want to look for EDTA. That's one of the main ingredients in like Malibu crystal gel, which I know a lot of us use in the salon. And that's that buildup under the cuticle that I was talking about. That's really the main reason why you don't even have to condition after treatments like this, or even after a clarifying shampoo. You'd think stripping your hair clean would make it feel like dry and tangly. But if we can close down the cuticle, get all the stuff out from underneath that's getting wedged in there, then your hair's not going to tangle anymore. And you're going to be able to get a fresh start. So even if you're co-washing, even if you shampoo infrequently, even if you're committed to sulfate-free shampoos, every once in a while, a good clarifying shampoo is the way to go. They're not even always listed as clarifying shampoos. Another like Paul Mitchell's Tea Tree is a clarifying shampoo because it has the sulfates and it has the EDTA. So check your ingredients for those things. Sodium lauryl sulfate is going to be the most clarifying, and then any version of EDTA is going to be your best bet for getting that stuff that's wedged under the cuticles out. So today's product, Mousses Miracle Milk 25. I love this as a leave-in conditioner. I like leave-in conditioners in general, but this one is a really cool one, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But we're going to talk about just the product type, an ingredient I like about it, and how to use it. So the cool thing about this one is it's for all hair types. It's a leave-in conditioner. It's a little bit more, I don't know if you can hear it, liquidy in the bottle than some other leave-in conditioners. And I think that's because it's mostly coconut oil based. I love the fact that there's coconut oil in it. It's one of my favorite oils to use in hair because coconut oil is really good for the hair and the scalp. And it seems to distribute really, really well. Another sort of obscure ingredient, you're reading the back of the bottle and you're looking at the ingredients. You look at coconut oil and you're like, hey, it's coconut oil. I feel like I understand what that is. I like to focus on some of the other things in there too, like polyquaternium. So this has polyquaternium 37 in it, which is kind of a bizarre ingredient. Like you're like, what the heck is that? But they're really similar to some of the ingredients that you'd find in fabric softeners. What it's going to do is it's going to help you. It's a thermal protector, but it's also going to be an anti-static ingredient. So thermal protector for when you're flat ironing or curling your hair. Anti-static for even if somebody with straight hair wants to use a leave-in conditioner. This is a really terrific one. Now, one thing to remember about leave-in conditioners is based on your hair type, is going to tell you how you're going to apply the conditioner. Something like this comes with a spray, and if you have tighter curls or curly hair that tends to be very dry, then you can spray it directly into the hair. Really do start at the ends. Like if your hair is long enough, pull it forward, otherwise spray from the back, work your way forward. But if you have finer hair that doesn't tend to need as much hydration, it's totally okay to spray this into your palms. And then once again, start from the back, work your way forward. But that's my product for this Friday, Mousses Miracle Milk 25. Awesome for all hair types. Love the coconut oil, and the polyquaternium really is a magic ingredient for thermal protection and anti-static. I'll see you guys next Friday, and if you want to know a little bit more about polyquaternium, I did a video about it on my YouTube channel, Cosmo Dad, as well. What's up, y'all? Hey, Jeff. Hey, Lainey. So it's Friday morning, or almost Friday at noon. We're going to do our product knowledge live. It's good to see everybody. Don't forget to vote, too. I got up early this morning and did that. Hey. So today's product. No, Lorenzo, I'm at my own salon. I'm taking guests today. Today is Redken Frizz-Dismiss, the Instant Deflate. This is one of my favorite serums. And I want to take a minute to remind everyone, I'm going to talk about a product, what's in it that I like, and how to use it. I'm not just going to read the back for you because that's boring. But I want to talk about like what's in it and what makes it work, and hopefully add to your knowledge base. So the cool thing about the Redken, the Frizz-Dismiss Instant Deflate, is it looks really thick. I don't know if you guys can see like kind of how slowly that moves, but it's actually really, really light, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. This one is, what's up, Tyler? This one is specifically designed to go on dry hair. You can put it on damp hair, hey, and let it air dry or blow dry it in. But this one is really, really for deflating frizz, and it ends up feeling super light. The reason is the first ingredient, I know it's a big word, cyclopentosiloxane. That's a form of cyclomethicone. And I feel like silicones have gotten a really bad rap. People talk about silicones. I've heard people say, hey, silicones are what you seal your windows with. They're going to build up on the hair. They're going to cause problems. But not all silicones are the same. There's actually a really, really wide variety of silicones with all different sorts of purposes. This is a derivative of cyclometh, was it? Now I got all messed up. Yeah, cyclomethicone, which evaporates. So, you know, when water boils, it evaporates and then it's gone. Alcohol evaporates immediately. Well, silicones have an evaporation point too. And this one has a really low temperature, like room temperature evaporation point once it's all spread out. So what it is a carrier ingredient. It takes all the other beneficial things that are in the product and allows them to penetrate into your hair and coat your hair, and then it evaporates away. So this one is never going to build up on your hair and leave it feeling gummy or even clog your scalp. This is strictly a carrier ingredient, and it's a really, really nice silicone. So don't be afraid of silicones, and know that they're not all created equal. They're really cool products. But this one, really light, evaporating silicone, really helps with the frizz, even though it looks thick. Don't be intimidated by it. And it smells awesome too. One of the number one reasons people buy products is because they love the way that they smell. And this one smells really nice too. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Ann. Well, that's pretty much it. You can put it in damp hair before you dry. This one is specifically made to put on dry hair that's frizzy. Start from the ends, work your way to the top. Awesome for super humid days. Don't forget to vote. So the thing I want to talk about today, after saying Happy Halloween, Happy Dia de los Muertos, all the happy holidays. But the thing I want to talk about today is mousses, kind of in general, only because I think that mousse has sort of a bad rap. And then there's not really a lot of understanding on how to use them. And when I think of mousse, I still think of like crunchy 80s hair. So I just want to talk about and point out the fact that there are generally two different kinds of mousses. I use the Paul Mitchell ones today because it's really easy to sort of figure out and demonstrate. But you generally have moisturizing mousses and volumizing mousses. So if you're dealing with a moisturizing mousse, something like Paul Mitchell Sculpting Foam, you're dealing with something that is more like a foaming conditioner. It's got a little bit of holding products in it, but it probably has some anti-frizz ingredients. You're going to find some fatty alcohols. The idea with your conditioning mousses is that they help dry hair, they help reduce frizz, and get you a nice smooth blowout. Whereas volumizing mousses, if you're trying to combat frizz, they're going to make your hair even frizzier. When we think of sort of the crunchy curls from the 80s, that's probably what people are thinking of a lot. You can still use them without getting crunchy hair, but you just have to use them right. When picking out a mousse, generally there's something that you put in wet hair. Just remember you're going to look for one that either says moisturizing or smoothing, or one that says volumizing, because if you get the wrong one, then you're going to be really disappointed, and you're going to be like, see, I knew that mousse was terrible. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like what you saw and you want to see some more, go ahead and check out some of my other videos. Feel free to share with any of your nerdy friends. Click the subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Let me know what else you want to hear about. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.